tube crawler. So basically, what needs to happen? The goal is we have a tube with the diameter of 23 centimeters, and it's like 30 or 40 meters long, and it has 2 or 3 45-degree bends. And the goal here is we need to lay a fiber optic cable through that tube. And the only realistic way to get the cable through is with a vehicle. So the task here is to design a very small vehicle that's gonna be remote controlled. That's gonna pull the cable through the tube. I will have, of course, a GoPro mounted on it. It's gonna be next to the GoPro will be a big flashlight, so torch flashlight that's gonna illuminate our way. The GoPro will connect to the phone, so we're gonna see what we can see on the GoPro on the phone, and we're gonna use the remote control to drive it. So I know the dimensions of the vehicle. It needs to be 13 times 13 times 15 centimeters. Those are the maximum dimensions. So width 13, height as low as possible, and length, it can be 15 centimeters, preferably less. So since it's a tube, I would like to have wheels that are suitable, to drive in a tube. So we're gonna use probably those balloon tires, maybe these, or I don't know. Let's see what else we have here. First, I need to see how big this is gonna be. It's gonna have a steering. It's gonna have 4-wheel drive, no differentials. Since its only task is to drive the distance in the tube, and that's it. What? I couldn't watch last stream. I don't know. Let me just see. I have a scale here. I mean, how much is 13 centimeters? Oh god, yeah, it's very small. So that's the length that we, the height that we can have maximum. Length 15 at best, preferably less, and height, of course, 13 as well. So yeah, we need some small tires. I would say, since we need 2 of these at the very extremes of the vehicle, I would go with these probably, or smaller, because anything else is too big. Maybe these, but I'm not sure if these are, I don't know, if these are too suitable for the task. Maybe. Hey, Redim. So, well, as I explained, we are building not something new. This is just for this stream. It's a small vehicle that I need tomorrow to lay down a tube. What about if we use these? Do I have 4 of these? I think I have. These would be great wheels for this. Actually, what I had in mind. Yeah, 2. Do I have 2 more? I should. Right? I should have 2 more. No. Yes. One more. There it is. There it is. Okay. I think those wheels are probably gonna be alright for a small vehicle that is 13 centimeters long. Got like this. I mean, we need all the traction we can get, basically. It's gonna be tight. Yeah, should have the room for this. 13 centimeters. Yeah. Gonna be tight, but I think we should go with these wheels because if we use these are gonna be too small probably. Keep in mind that the diameter of the tube that it has to crawl through is 23, so like this. And there are two or three 45-degree bends to navigate through. So yeah, and I would like this to be all-wheel drive, and it's probably gonna be driven by worm gears, just so that we can maximize traction and you know, it doesn't get stuck anywhere. And if it does get stuck, it can unstick itself. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So we are going to, let me just put the wheels away. We are tomorrow. I need to, and it's good. There's gonna be a video of this, of course. There's so where were we? So what I need to do tomorrow is I need to pull a fiber optic cable through a tube with a diameter of 23 centimeters. The tube is like, I don't know, 30 or 40 centimeters, 40 meters long, connecting two buildings. And there's really no other realistic way of getting the cable through other than a vehicle. The remote control car that the customer used got stuck because it was a, I don't know, a race car or whatever that was about that size. But I imagine it couldn't negotiate the bends. So yeah, what this car needs. So we need all-wheel drive. We need no differentials. We don't need suspension, but we do need the ability that the axles kind of tilt. So we're gonna do what tractors do. So the rear axle is gonna be fixed, and the front axle is gonna be able to tilt. So when we negotiate the 45-degree bends, you know, everything can negotiate the you know. It's gonna be fine. The weight of the vehicle is gonna be perfectly fine, and the rope is not gonna be under any tension. It's just the vehicle needs to make it through the tube. So let's make a rough shape of what we need to do. So 13, I would be, so 13 times 13 centimeters is the footprint of the vehicle, basically. A cube, 13 times 13 times 13 centimeters. Uh, yeah, not a pendular. Actually, it's gonna be it's just gonna be this, like in a tractor, like in a farm tractor. So that's all we need. No, as far as I'm aware, there are not. Even if there were, I think they're not. But even if there were, if we are like this, and we are definitely gonna leave enough room underneath here, so that there can be some stuff here, and this doesn't get stuck. But even if there were, since the tube is round, yeah, excuse my hands, tube is round, so there definitely is gonna be room under the vehicle. So best we can do, I guess. I don't think there are cables in there, and we do need to lay a ground, a wire or a string or something where we can then pull the cables through. That's just how it goes. So we have a lot to build in. So we need to put this in. We need to put the servo in and a motor. I think we will use the L motor that we actually use in the Lambo gearbox. So I'm gonna extract one from there. We don't need any suspension. We don't need suspension. The weight of it is gonna be fine. So let's extract the gearbox here. The vehicle, keep in mind, the vehicle is gonna be disassembled after the task is done. So it's just for tomorrow. Needs to fulfill the task, and its job is done. So I can borrow motors here. Obviously, I'm gonna borrow the Kada motor here because it's better. This is here. This is here. Okay, so I'm gonna put this away. We don't need it at the moment. Okay, so these are the things that we need to use to make it. The GoPro is gonna sit together with the lamp on top of the car. So it's gonna be a platform car with stuff on top. But yeah. Okay, let's use some axles and mock this up. Mm. Mm. Post me an image into Discord. Yeah, but I don't want the front axle to be rock solid. In MOX. Okay. Ah, no, no. That's way too elaborate. We don't need that. So now I'm just getting the dimensions. Don't be alarmed. I just need to see how long it needs to be. It would be Ben. Can you post everything that you do in MOX? So I don't have to switch between Windows, and everything stays in in one place, and you know. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I have chosen those tires to compensate for for the tube being round. Um, let's see. Okay, this is too long. Needs to be shorter. At least 2 studs. Yeah, I meant Ben. This is 15. This is borderline. I mean, this can't tip. This can't tip over either. The tube is gonna be way too small to do this, and I cannot see how either of those vehicles that you posted would be able to steer. How is it able to steer? It steers itself. How? Just by going forward, or what? The cable is gonna be fed into the tube, and the cable is really has no. It's a fiber optic cable. You know how thin and light these are. It's not a heavy cable. Um, it's not a straight tube. That's the problem. We're gonna have bends in the tube. It's not a straight tube. So it's like sections are a section is straight, and then we have a 45-degree bend. My worry is the bend, not the straight part. The bend is the issue here. How would we make the bend? I am absolutely not sure if this can negotiate the bend, the crawler that you posted, because no, the bends are at 45 degrees, and the another issue is, of course, that I don't know how rough the place is where the bend is. So it's obviously it's a straight plastic tube, and then the bends are attached to it, and then um, hmm. Say it would be possible. How would we then execute the drive of this? I don't want, I will have only one motor. No, the tube is, as far as I know, the tube is smooth, but I can ring up the owner. You will hear some Slovenian, so be prepared. Not answering. It's awkward. Servus. Povej mi, kakšna cev je to? Je gladka ali valovita? Gladka. Plastična gladka cev. Pa kolena not so 45 stopinska, pa so kakšne stopnice not med koleni? Mislim, med kolenom pa rorom. Minimum. Ok. Ok, ready. Dobro, ok, ajde. Okay, so it's a smooth pipe. It's a smooth pipe, and the 45-degree bends are just connected to it, and there's a very small step inside. Right, axles and 90-degree barrel gears. "90-degree bevel gears." I know what you mean, but that's way too complicated for the task. That's way too complicated for the task. Even this, yeah, but I mean, so if we go with this, we would be making something like that. Then these would be, I don't know, positioned like that. But I still would want one axle to be able to tilt, you know, so that they can position, it can position itself. Yeah, knob gears are a option. Yeah, that was my idea. If this would go like this, we would use knob gears. Yeah. So basically, this would be positioned in a fork like this, axle through, knob gear on top, one knob gear driving it, so it's, you know, level. As simple as possible. Yeah. What about the angle? What angle would we choose? 45 degrees? 45 degrees or less or more? No, we are overthinking. Way overthinking this. I am okay with the idea of the wheels being tilted like this. In a way, that's kind of makes sense. Makes sense to me. So steering. Do we need steering? I don't know. I hope we don't. If this is true, but I don't know. I don't know. I almost want some steering of sorts to you know, to give me the option to control things. If, you know, if we cannot go around the bend, because, you know, I don't want to show up there and it's not gonna happen. I think my initial idea, you know, with the vehicle being this shape, being all-wheel drive, have the front wheels steered, it's gonna be fine, because the tires, the shape of the round shape of the tires is gonna be perfectly fine. It's gonna be, this edge here is gonna make contact with the tube, and it's gonna be fine. The remote control car that the customer used probably had square tires that couldn't make any contact with the tube, and it wasn't all-wheel drive, obviously. This thing is gonna be all-wheel drive, and it's not gonna be that heavy either, so it should negotiate the tube without a problem. So steering in the front, all-wheel drive. We don't care about all of the complex geometry that we usually teach here, because that's irrelevant in this situation. It just needs to, you know, fulfill its role. And we need, you know, we need to position all of these elements somewhere inside of the body here. I don't know, somehow, maybe a little bit higher, I don't know, you know. And it needs to, you know, it needs to bend a little bit, so that when it goes around the corner and it encounters, you know, some an edge in the corner or whatever, that it doesn't lose traction, and, you know, we still have control, like a farm tractor, basically. And probably I would like this to be, you know, I would like it to be driven by worm gears, just so that we we don't stall the motor and stuff. You know. And the thing is that the articulated bulldozer design is problematic because it's not stable. It's not easy to drive straight. That's the main problem with this. If you have, the vehicle that bends in the middle, very hard to drive straight, and we waste a lot of space here that we need for the components. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that. So basically, we are going to make if we turn these around so that we can have an inset here. We have basically, hold on. This is fine. Is this 13? Oh, it's too much. Too much. We need to go a little bit inwards. Probably one stud. Okay. Yes, this is 13 centimeters. How many studs from wheel flange to wheel flange? It's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11 studs. 11 studs between the extremes. That's 11 studs is the axle that we can have. And we're gonna have the drive is gonna be, since it's gonna be all-wheel drive, the drive can be positioned off center a little bit because of the connectors. Oh no, no, it can, yeah, it's gonna be fine. So I would like to use obviously the classic situation here in the front with these. Let's see if this fits in. Does fit. I'm just checking if there's really enough room. Yeah, it's enough room. So we can use this here. It just barely does not make any contact. Does not seem as if it does make any contact, and it's gonna be perfectly fine. In the rear, we're gonna use something simpler, but this is just for the front. I guess. Or should we use something else? No, we're gonna use something else because we don't. This is not a high. It's. I'm always thinking about things being under loads and stuff, but this is really something that's not gonna be under a lot of load. So we can use, you know, different approaches. So one thing that we absolutely do want is it needs to be reliable. It needs to be reliable. And for this, we're gonna use this here, simply so that the wheel cannot pop out. Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna use this here, so that the wheel cannot pop out. Cannot use this either. Damn it. What can I use? What can I use to get as close to this as possible? This is fine, but I have no way to attach any steering arm to it. That's the problem. Yeah, it needs to be sturdy-ish. Yeah. So we want, since we want. No, we're not gonna do that. But something needs. I mean, the rear suspension is the rear axle, not suspension. The rear axle is gonna be easy, but this is the problem. Since we want it steered and all-wheel drive, it needs to be all-wheel drive. We don't want to get stuck anywhere. No, it doesn't need to be modular. Not in this case. Not in this case. I mean, this looks to be the only way. Yeah, doesn't need caster. Doesn't need caster. Not this time. Not this time. We just need a way to attach this. The middle point is, of course, here. Yeah, it's here. So if we do use this, hold on. Yeah, because this is not gonna happen for a few reasons. Even if we use this, in combination with, let's say this, which we absolutely could use here. Okay, we could use this. The problem is that we cannot attach anything here, I think. this is true or not. Yeah, that's the problem. So we cannot use this. And this is absolutely not gonna happen. If we used this in this fashion, we would do this. This and this. This is still not okay. I mean, yeah, it's fine. This would be fine, but then I don't know how to attach a steering knuckle here. Because of this, I would have to go above, and it would be here. Far removed from the wheel itself. I mean, what we could do here is the following. Remember this. The requirements for this are far different than the requirements for our usual stuff. So what I'm gonna do here is, if I would do this in a regular model that we do here, it would be highly questionable. But what I'm gonna do here is, I guess, gonna be acceptable. You can lynch me for this, but you know. So like this, and then we have this here, and then we have the axle. And this is fine. This is perfectly fine. And then we have the steering axle here in the front. This pivots, and there's enough room here in the middle for our, you know, for the worm drive. And the rear is gonna be much simpler than this. This is complicated because it's the front. Yeah. Only thing that's gonna be interesting is because we want this axle to the front to pivot, or I mean, alternatively, yeah, we can make the rear pivot. Doesn't matter really which axle we pivot, front or rear. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's not really important. Front would be better, but we can do rear because it's easier, because it's the front gonna has the steering and the drive going through it, and making a central pivot point is gonna be difficult unless we are gonna do cardan articulation. I don't know if we want this. But anyway, let us do another of this. So one more. Keep in mind that this is already more complicated than I thought it would be. So No, they don't. Not in this case. I mean, if this was a vehicle that we would be doing that would need to perform, I don't know, what, like the Countach or whatever, then absolutely. But this is not that kind of a vehicle. This vehicle has to do different things. So this is the width of the axle. In the middle we have 5 studs. I guess we're gonna drive. What are we gonna do? Do we drive this like that? Do we drive the 12 tooth with the worm gear? I think so, right? Ah, we're not gonna lose anything. So let's see. Okay. So what can we drive here? So we need 3 studs, and this is gonna be a different shape. We cannot use a simple lift arm because the drive is gonna be kinda in the way. I wonder how fast this is gonna, or slow this is gonna go. Okay. Let me see what we're gonna do. So this is gonna be driven by this. Yeah, not in this fashion. What about this? Is there room for this? No. Yeah, the GoPro is gonna be zip tied to the whole thing, so I don't think we're gonna lose that. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Absolutely, there's gonna be a string attached to this. Yeah, there's a worm gear. We're gonna drive this with a worm gear. So let's see. Ah, okay. So we need to use the 20 here. Okay, this is gonna be very slow. But the question is, do we need a worm gear? Do we need a worm gear? If we use just the classic 3-to-1, I don't know. maybe worm gear is a bit excessive. I mean, basically, if we use just the combination of this and this on each side, it's gonna be plenty good. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. That's gonna be fine. The problem here is, that we gonna have trouble fitting this in. Have trouble fitting this in. So the worm gear is gonna have to be, because this combination. So if we use a big gear here, we have only one stud on each side to support it. This thing here we can support. We can up gear the worm gear so the worm gear will spin faster and the car will drive faster. So yeah, we're gonna do the worm gear. There's no other way. Only thing that we have to do is figure out a way how to do the worm gear so it doesn't get out. But we don't have to, because we already have a system that does this in the charger. Let me refresh my memory how this looks. Yep. Exactly like in the charger. Now we're gonna up gear it. Yeah, we are going to basically gear it up. Come on. So, let's do this. Let's do this with a few axles. 2 fibers. 3, and let's say this. No, it's not gonna be that extreme. Okay, worm gear is gonna be here, like that. There we go. And now this attaches obviously to this. It's gonna drive. We obviously need to change this, but yeah, mounting the cables and stuff is easy. That's easy. Zip ties do all the work basically. Okay, so let's make this a carrier as well. Yeah. So let's change the half bushes here. Half bushes are gonna be these, I think. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Yeah. I don't know exactly how long the tube is. No, he's not. He's not. I know for a fact that he's not watching the stream. What do I need here? I need... Okay. Well, luckily for us, I am not doing what you would do. I can't. Absolutely, I can't. I can't know that, and that's the problem. I want to make sure that if it does, of course, I can pull the car back. But if it doesn't, the car needs to, survive it. So look away now. This is not kosher. Wow, it's so slow. The horror, but it works. It's good enough. Can you imagine? This is good enough. This is good enough. It could pivot. It could pivot like this. Yeah, 0 degrees of caster and everything. I wonder how we're gonna do this. I would like the front suspension to pivot instead of the rear. So that all the heavy stuff is in the rear section, and this is pivoting. Keep in mind how small everything is. You know, this is how small it is. I know, right? We are gonna put a camera on it. So don't worry. We are putting a camera on it, but we need to think about how we are gonna make sure that this is tilting around this, and that we can have steering as well. So obviously steering is gonna be the steering thingy. It's gonna be here in the front. I know. Chassis needs to be very short. I know. I know. So, driven and steered. Keep in mind where that even though we are doing this as simple as possible, the steering, the universal joint, or the CV, is as close to the wheel as possible, of course. You know, this also provides better steering angles and everything. Yeah. Yeah. Drifting here is irrelevant, but yeah. How do we proceed here? Nothing. No Ackerman, no camber, no nothing. This is as bare bones as it gets. Yeah. So, what I would like to incorporate is this here. So this would be acting as the pivot, I guess. Obviously around the drive. And steering, I don't know, how we would do the steering. Since it does not have to be anything special, we can have the steering axle going basically here. Here, the steering axle can go here, as close to this as possible, and there's gonna be like a universal CV joint here, connecting it to the servo, and the servo is gonna be here. I want to that L half beam. I don't know. Actually, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Doesn't have to be anything super special. I mean, ideally, I would attach this to here and further in, but I can't because the gear is too big. So I have to have it here now. This is gonna be probably the first time I'm ever gonna be able to use these here. You know? Never ever have I had a use for them, but here they actually could be pretty handy. Because I can do this, yeah. So this has to be a 4. There. Now we use these. Nice. Okay. That is all well and good. Here. We can actually use this here.
can now be attached to the chassis. And we need to route the steering through this as well. Yeah. I mean, there's no problem. We can have this extended and then this added. Yeah, we can do this, or we can have this at the one extreme. How would we do the steering? That's the question here. Do we do the steering on top? We could. Let's see what the size says. So we could do this, but we have to keep in mind that we have a height limitation as well. It cannot be higher than 13 centimeters. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Yeah. Okay. So we can add this on top and do the steering on top. Like ish, you know, ish. We can route the axle to here. Here, and ideally we would have it, yeah, here. So we're gonna use this as an attachment point. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do, I think. What about this? Is this kosher? No, this is not kosher. That's the problem. Okay, so this is not gonna happen because this guy here. Damn it. Damn it. This didn't have bridges. We're gonna gear it up, don't worry. Fortunately, I do have this here. It's not cut up all the way, but it's never gonna see that kind of articulation anyway, I think. Oh, right. I cannot separate this. Right, I forgot. Right. Okay. Um, hmm, okay. This is gonna be okay. Okay, so let's leave the steering for now. Let's make another worm gear because we need an identical one for the rear. Well, almost. Not exactly, but no, speed is not a priority. But at the same time, we don't want it to crawl like so slow that we can get lunch before it gets to the other side. So some speed. Um, doesn't have to be the slowest vehicle that we've ever done, you know. So okay. Yeah, there's no need for articulation in the rear. Mm. The only problem here is, well, no, there's no problem. Gonna solve this just by adding bushes. Not these. you know, we need to now attach this somehow here, and then this is going to be attached to this. Mm. Hmm. So we need it here, just to clarify. Yeah, this point, this here. This is the X location. Okay, and then this needs to be sitting like that. Okay. Okay. What? Okay. Um, okay, we could do this like that. Yeah, we can do this like that. So, what does réparer mean? Repair? When you see what I'm gonna do right now, don't kill me. I don't know yet what the final version will be, but you know, something like that. You can see look here. Well, remember, this is gonna be very specific vehicle for a very specific task. So we are not. What? Okay. We are not over building this. unnecessarily. Unlike with Deadpool, that we are trying to do the minimal effort. This is fine. Where's my... Ah, there it is. Let's see. It's 15 centimeters long. Okay. Should be, with the steering, should be fine. 13 centimeters wide, and it has to be 13 centimeters tall, no more. Okay. It can articulate itself, so it can negotiate the curves. But now, how do we steer it? I guess we're gonna have the steering like this ish. You know, the servo can sit here and here, so it articulates in with the front. The driving motor is gonna be, I guess, like this. The battery box is gonna sit here, I guess, and the GoPro is gonna be like, I don't know, here somewhere in a manner, you know. So very basic. Well, the motor can be, I don't know. Yeah, we need to place those things first. I wish this was wider, but it is what it is. Okay, so first, the steering. How do we steer this thing? Maybe like this. No, I don't like this. I don't like this. What's the excellent we need here? It's a 7. We need a 6. Six. Wow. No. Okay. This. Yeah. So we can have the connecting axle here, and well, it's gonna be driven by the motor. I don't know. It's just too short to do anything really. Maybe like this. Yeah. Even here it's, yeah, motor should be in this fashion and closer. Yeah, so this guy here, the frame needs to be one stud up, ideally, so that the motor can be here and drive the axle from the side. We obviously cannot place this here anywhere. We could place it here, but we will place it here because that's really the best way for it. And since it's gonna drive that direction, it's gonna be the closest to the receiver as possible. So this is gonna be here-ish. Okay, the motor is gonna be here. We're gonna redesign this a little bit. Yeah. We're gonna redesign this frame, but not a little bit, quite substantially. Yeah, so that this attaches. Well, the frame is not gonna be here. We cannot use the frame here, sadly. Either we put the frame one step further up, which is going to raise the center of gravity, or we do something else with it. And then there's the steering. How do we do the steering? I mean, there's not a lot of articulation here, but then again, we need to position this somewhere. Maybe like this. And maybe we make, if we get rid of the frame, we make the servo and the driving motor the chassis. Yeah, that's an option. That is absolutely an option. But how do we do the steering? That's the question. I do have the length limit because of the 45-degree bends in the tube. So there's a couple of 45-degree bends in the tube, and you know, this has to manage them. The tube is 23 centimeters wide, and this is gonna be approximately at, I don't know, 1/3 of the tube is gonna be below it, 2/3 above it, above the contact patch of the wheels, that is. And you know, I don't know. It has to be short, sadly. Has to be short. Damn it, this cannot be. If it was one stud lower, but it can't. Look like this, but it can be here, and then it's all right. In the center of the vehicle, length is not that important, right? Yeah. So just the wheels are important. So this, okay. I think I have an idea how to do this. Yeah. Okay. Sadly, we still have this here. This was lower. This was one step further ahead. Skid steer. I don't know. Would be even more complicated than this. You know, if I could place this lower, if this shit wasn't here, then, and this would be one step further ahead, this would be able to sit here and drive the wheels directly. Yeah, no. We are doing things already way too complicated than they need to be. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is the way. This is the way. So we do need to raise this frame by one stud in order to fit the motor under it. Frame is gonna remain. This thing is gonna be bolted to the frame like this, the motor underneath, and then we're gonna have a cardan joint to this. This is gonna be limited in its travel, of course, and this is gonna be in the rear, and the GoPro can sit here. So the center of mass is still gonna be pretty low. Yeah. No, then we have other problems. I think that's gonna be fine. So we need to raise this by one stud. Obviously, we're gonna do the attachment for the rear axle differently. Since we are raising it by one stud. Oh no, we're gonna just put longer connectors on it for now. This here is gonna change as well. This here. Here is gonna be. Now let's take this here. It's here. Okay, that's that. Okay, so we need, before we attach the rear axle, we need the motor to be sitting here, yeah, as close to the axle as possible, and we need to gear everything up. So what are we gonna do? Not one-to-one. We're gonna use on the axle, it's gonna be a 12 tooth. On the motor, it's gonna be, I would say, a 20. Would this be enough, or do we use a 28 on the motor and 12 on the axle? Let's try with this combination. Yeah, and see what's gonna happen. So this obviously we need to raise this differently. Yeah. 3. One, 2. This is gonna be enough. Maybe. Okay, that's too far out. I don't know. We'll see. We'll test it and see if I'm happy. Okay. We can fix this. Fix this to the chassis here. We'll know very quickly. Just let me attach this, and we can try it right away. Of course, some modularity is gonna be built in, like what I'm doing now. Okay. Yeah, let's see how this feels. Let's see how this feels. Let's see how it feels. Okay. That is fast enough. Plenty of fast for tube. This is acceptable. Very acceptable. Yeah. I mean, this is pretty close to each other, but can't do anything. If they rub, they rub. Oh, I can. Yeah, I have to basically lift this up a little bit with the help of a lift arm. No, you have to support it a little bit. That'll be fine. It has to do the job exactly. That's its only role. It has to do the job. What here we are in trouble. Okay. Okay. Um, mhm. That's gonna be a problem. So it needs to sit one step higher. Yeah. One step higher. And if it sits one step higher, it sits one step further back. And now we build, since this is not gonna be very articulating very much, this is gonna be fine. Now we build an attachment for this here, and it's gonna be fine. Mm-hmm. Marco. Okay. I mean, my worry here is the angle between this and this. So we want basically a connection between this and this. The angle is very questionable. So I think what we're gonna do is what I wanted to do before. So like this. What I wanted to do is have the steering rack be as far in the corner as possible, and then, well, off center, and even here we would have this guy off center, because we don't need, I guess we don't need that much of a steering angle. So that we reduce the angle coming from here to here as much as possible. Or we can position it even further here. Obviously, yeah, doesn't hurt. Yeah, we could position it here. Perfect. Okay, so it can be here. Obviously, we need to make now a bracket here, so that the steering link here is going to be positioned properly. So it's gonna be, if this is the center, it's gonna be here, and then the angle is a lot less. Yeah. Okay. These need to be half stud. Half stud. The thin ones. Yep. Yeah, like this. Okay. Okay, it needs to be here. It needs to be here. That's the options for doing this. It needs to be here. Hmm. It needs to be here behind. Yeah, okay. Okay, no big deal. Where to? Where would you relocate the servo? It's pretty big. Servo is pretty big and doesn't fit here. There's no way to fit it here. And I want the GoPro to be able to see over whatever is here. And on top of the servo is gonna be a flashlight mounted. So yeah, it's all the electric stuff is SCADA. 5, 6. Yeah, there are some limitations that I have to observe. Hey, Alfie. Welcome to the stream. I'm gonna just remove these for now. They're in the way. Oh, come on. Come on. Go in there. Thank you. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna just use this here. Maybe we can. Maybe it's gonna be useful for something. Okay. I promise this is gonna make sense. Right. Now let's see how bad this is gonna be. Oh, okay. Oof. Oof. This is not okay. I'm super not comfortable with this angle. We could move this back. Yeah. This is a 4, I think. But I would like to have. Yeah. I would like to have this guy here because this can move. Okay, fine, fine, fine. It's probably gonna go all horribly wrong. Come on. What's the problem? Ah. That's okay. We need to brace this a little bit, but that's okay. Okay. This guy is going everywhere. He's not gonna stop. The only problem I have here is the steering is not centered. Steering is pointing a little bit to this side, which is uncool. But I guess... Oh no, it's straight. Yeah, okay, it was just a misalignment. But we need to brace this steering knuckle here down, and then it's gonna be fine, I guess. Then we position this here, and then we have room for the GoPro and the rest. That's it. Here in the rear, we just add a lift arm or something, you know, where we can zip tie whatever we are pulling, and that's it. Because you want the front to be light. I don't want to put weight on this here. Like in tractors as well, the front suspension is light. It needs to, you know, articulate like this. Yeah. And we are definitely limiting the travel of this here. Probably, yeah. Since it's not in the center, when it articulates, it kind of steers with everything, but it's fine. It's gonna be fine since we have camera and everything. It's gonna be fine. Yeah, that's good enough for me. The limiter. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Okay, let's do this. This can be very simple. We can attach it just here, just like that. It does not have to be anything special. But not with this, obviously. But okay, and this. Silver lift arms. Oh, you mean these dark bluish gray ones? Well, dark bluish silverish. I don't know. I have no idea what they're called. Ah. Really, I would like to help you, but I have no idea myself. I found them on Bricklink and said this could be useful somewhere. This is actually the first instance that I have found a use for them. Not because of lack of trying. I did try to find a use for them, but this is the first time they were actually useful. Okay, this is good enough, I guess. Yeah, probably Bionicle. I mean, most interesting stuff is Bionicle, right? Okay. Oh, I rigged them wrongly. Yeah, of course. Of course. I was wondering why. Yeah, why? I go forward when I steer. It's fine, I guess. shit that just needs to be mounted, and it's gonna be fine. Yeah. Oh wow, what the fuck is this? Mounted. We've done it. That's it. The mount for the GoPro is gonna be something that we can hear something, just so I can put a zip tie or two on it, you know. Yeah, steering works when the pendulum actually flexes. No problem. It's fine. And it's pretty light. Yeah. I think we've done it. And tomorrow there's gonna be a video of it driving into the dark, and we'll see. I'll report if we were successful. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you, I guess, on Monday. Well, Monday is a day off. So maybe on Tuesday. Yeah, maybe on Tuesday. We'll see. I'll announce it in the stream, in the Discord, so you'll know. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.